It was the last Saturday of summer in the small town of Ridge Hollow, a place tucked between dry hills and endless sky. The air smelled of burnt sugar and fresh hay. Flags waved, children laughed, and music floated through the streets for the town's biggest event, the Founders' Ride. For most, it was a celebration. But for James, a quiet man with tired eyes and worn boots, it was just another day of being reminded that he didn't belong. He stood at the edge of the crowd, his daughter Lily, just 7 years old, holding tightly to his hand. Her jacket was too big, her shoes scuffed, but her smile, that was real. James had come home from war with medals no one asked about, and a heart that never fully left the battlefield. His wife, Anna, had passed years ago, and with her, a piece of him had died too. Then, the town's richest man, Victor Crane, stepped onto the stage, tall, polished, smiling like he owned the sun itself. "Ladies and gentlemen," he said, voice booming, "today we honor a true hometown hero, James Reed." Polite claps, murmurs. Some people looked away. James didn't move. Lily tugged his hand. Victor grinned. "And to honor our hero, I'm giving him a gift." 2 ranch hands pulled forward a horse, or what was left of one. She was thin. Her ribs showed. One leg dragged slightly. Her coat was dull, her eyes deep, sad, but somehow still watching. The crowd burst into laughter. An old horse for an old soldier. Victor laughed. "Fits, doesn't it?" Someone shouted, "She'll fall apart before the race starts." James didn't flinch. He walked forward, slow and steady. He didn't look at Victor. He didn't look at the crowd. He walked straight to the horse. He knelt, and he placed a gentle hand on her neck. She flinched, then stopped. She looked at him, and for a long moment, no one else existed. Something passed between them. Not words, not sound, just understanding. James whispered, so only she could hear, "Thank you for still standing." That night, James led the horse, who he later learned was named Echo, back to his small trailer on the edge of town. No barn, no stable, just a patch of dirt and a roof that leaked when it rained. Lily asked, "Daddy, what's her name?" "I don't know yet," he said softly. "We'll ask her when she's ready." He worked all night, building a shelter from old wood, laying down straw, filling a bucket with water. His hands ached, his back screamed, but he kept going, because he remembered Anna's last words. "Don't let Lily think giving up is normal. Show her how to stand even when it hurts." The next morning, an old rancher named Henry arrived. He looked at Echo, ran his hands over her legs, and paused. "These scars," he said, "race plates. This horse, she was a champion once." James stared. "They gave me a joke, but she was someone's dream." Henry nodded. "Treat her like she matters, and you might find she still does." Then, one night, a woman appeared at the gate. It was Nora Crane, Victor's daughter. Quiet, kind, her eyes filled with something James couldn't name. "I used to ride her," she whispered. "She was my mother's horse. When Mom got sick, Echo was the only thing that made her smile." She knelt, tears falling. "I thought she was gone forever." James looked at her. "You came back for her." Nora nodded. "I should have fought harder before, but I won't look away again." Together, they cared for Echo. Nora brought medicine. James massaged her leg every 2 hours, day and night. Lily read stories by flashlight, telling Echo about flying horses and brave girls. And slowly, Echo began to walk without limping, then to trot, then to run. When James entered Echo into the Founders' Ride, the town laughed harder. "You're going to race that?" someone sneered. At the gas station, a man offered James $500 to quit. "Take it," he said. "Save yourself the shame." James handed it back. "My daughter's watching. I won't teach her that love has a price." Race day came. The crowd jeered as James led Echo to the starting line. She won't make it 10 feet. The gun fired, and Echo ran, not fast at first, but steady, proud. The laughter faded, then turned to gasps, then to cheers. At the church bend, where Nora's mother used to ride every Sunday, Echo suddenly stopped. Silence. Then the wind chimes rang. Echo's ears pricked. Her head lifted. And she flew. Hoof after hoof, heart after heart. She surged forward, past the favorites, past the odds. And in the final stretch, she crossed the line first. The crowd stood frozen, then erupted. James slid from the saddle, tears in his eyes, holding Echo's head. Nora ran to them. Lily screamed, "She did it! She did it!" But Echo was tired. Her leg trembled. Henry checked her. She pushed her limit, but she chose it. That's courage. Victor Crane stood at the edge, watching. Days later, he came to James' trailer. No suit, no pride. "I gave her away when my wife died," he said, voice broken. "I thought forgetting would help. I was wrong." He handed James a contract. "Work with me, not for me. Teach me how to care, not just own." James looked at him. "Only if you learn to see them not as property, but as family." And so Echo Hollow was born, a place where broken horses and hurting hearts could heal together. Children came. Veterans came. Kids who had known pain found peace in the quiet rhythm of a horse's breath. Echo never raced again, but she became something greater, a teacher, a friend, a symbol. Years passed. One spring morning, James found Echo lying down. She didn't rise. He knelt beside her, holding her head. "Thank you," he whispered, "for showing us that second chances are real." She took one last breath and was gone. They buried her under the old oak by the lake. A wooden stone read, "Echo, who taught us all how to stand again." And every spring, new children come. They see her photo. They hear her story. And one little girl, bruised and silent, touches a frame and whispers, "If she could heal, maybe I can too." Because sometimes the weakest ones carry the strongest hearts. And the ones the world throws away are the ones who teach us how to come back. The greatest strength isn't in never falling, but in choosing to rise again and again, no matter how many times you've been broken. If this story moved you, please share it. Hit like, hit subscribe, and turn on the bell so you never miss a story like this again. And tell us in the comments, what part touched your heart the most? Wherever you are, thank you for listening.